Man, there's so many different angles we could take with this video. The Leafs get off to a hot start, Nazem Kadri and Brendan Gallagher mixing it up, all those big hits. I just don't know where to go. What do you think? Hey, do you think I could score on Carey Price with this? Look at this finally! Good old Canadian player. Country! Yeah. Deal with it. Deal and smash! Owen Grubowski. GTFO. I got it from afar. Leafs win 5-1 over the Montreal Canadiens. The second time this season, the Leafs have really stomped the Habs. Just a couple minutes in, actually less than that, Kessel to Van Riemsdyk to Bozak and in. In a little play I'm going to call the Zorro. Carey Price had a bad night, but that was a good goal. And after that, a fight happened. A fight involving Frazer McLaren that I'm going to say was smart. Whoa, what? Frazer McLaren taking on Brandon Prust. Good fight, both guys getting in some good shots. Full credit to Brandon Prust for taking on a much bigger McLaren. But full criticism to Prust because I don't think that was a smart fight. Now, we've talked about the play of McLaren and Orr this season. We've talked about the advanced stats, and they're terrible. But something that's totally immeasurable, and I'm just making up this theory right now, I think fights mean more to a team like the Leafs than it does to a team like the Habs. With all due respect to Frazer McLaren, because I have criticized him a bunch this season, but he has proved me wrong on several occasions, he doesn't play very much. 5 minutes a game, maybe. Brandon Prust was a key off-season signing by the Habs, and he's a big part of that team. And he's a shutdown guy. And if your team opens up a game like allowing a goal like the Bozak one less than 2 minutes in, you probably shouldn't get your shutdown guy into a fight 4.5 minutes in. Lo and behold, Prust is in the box when Leo Komarov makes it 2-0. And who knows, maybe Prust couldn't do anything about that goal. It was a terrible goal, and Price should have totally had it. But that fight's not a great trade for Montreal, and not at a great time. And the fight was really long, and props to Frazer McLaren for keeping it going really long, because there were a couple times when Prust took him down that could have stopped the fight. That was a long, exhausting looking fight, and I'd be a lot more worried about a guy like Prust after a long, exhausting fight than McLaren. What I'm trying to say, people who think that I hate all fighting in hockey, that's a smart fight. However, for it to be smart for one person, it had to be dumb for someone else. Then the final nail in the coffin for Carey Price's night, Nikolai Kuhlman, very understated in the last month, to Jay McClement, through the legs, backhand, 5-hole goal. Two guys who don't really get talked about, Kuhlman only when he's bad, and McClement just having a quietly great season for the Leafs. And then 3 goals on 4 shots. Sorry if you had him in your fantasy pool, but by Carey Price is done. The Habs had a glimmer of hope when Gallagher set up Drewski for his first as a Hab, but it was over when Phaneuf scored. Dion wrist shot! Now, that wasn't a great goal either. 4 goals on 5 shots. Forget it. After that, you just got to rely on Reimer, which the team has done all season long anyway, so they win. And JVR set up for the Kessel goal to make it 5-1. Huh. Can I just say though, and this was a storyline that developed throughout the game, I'm so glad Kadri and Gallagher don't like each other. Because they're two very similar players when you think about it. Both had tons of people doubting them on their way to pro. Both are professional athletes, but neither is really an intimidating physical specimen. But they both have great skill and just this honey badger will to win. People seem so shocked that Kadri's been just leveling people and checking people. He's been doing that since junior. Again, it doesn't happen all the time because he's not exactly the biggest guy, but when he comes up to someone who is a similar size to him, he'll kill him. And Brendan Gallagher in front of the net, it's like watching an ant lift something much bigger than itself. And when you stomp down his anthill, he just rebuilds again. Completely stole that ant joke from Joe Rogan, but at least I'm crediting him. And I've met both Brendan Gallagher and PK Subban off the ice, interviewed them, talked to them. They're great guys. But wow, are they both so hateable on the ice. And it's very clear that they hate the Leafs. And it's very clear that the Leafs hate them. The rivalry's just heating up. Just imagine if, you know, I can't still. Question of the game, and it'll be interesting seeing your answers, especially based on age. What is your favorite Leafs-Habs rivalry memory? Every single season, doesn't matter if the Leafs are great and the Habs suck, the Habs are great and the Leafs suck, they both suck, they're both great, they always hate each other. And actually, I should mention one more thing. I'm going to be talking at the Emerge Conference at Guelph Humber on April 24th. Tickets are just $12. There's going to be lots of guest speakers there, and I'm going to be talking about, you know, how I got started with this whole video thing, how I got the jobs that I have, and stuff like that. And they were asking me to make a video promoting the event, but I'm like, ugh, I don't really have time. And then I saw that this guy made a video.
Hi everyone, I'm Adrian Grenier. I'm coming to Canada. I'm going to be talking at the Guelph Humbers Emerge event on Wednesday, April 24th. Tickets are going fast. Get yours now.
Well, I guess if Vinny Chase from Entourage can make one, so can I. If you want to learn more about the event, the other guest speakers that are going to be there, like, holy crap, Entourage, and me, very underwhelming, link in the underbar. Also under this video is the post-game blog that you should totally read, and I will see you next time. That was Adrian Grenier.